Precious. Hello everybody. I will be there in just a second. I am struggling this evening. So tonight we are going to spend just a little bit of time making a t-shirt, and I'm waiting for my, oh goodness gracious, my live to show up here. So, oh, there we go. I can see now. Okay, let me turn the light on so we have a little bit of brightness here. Maybe it'll look better with the light on. I'm waiting for, oh, and I need to turn the volume down. Maybe it'll look better with the light on. There we go. Hello, Audra here. This is how I start my lives normally. I say I'm Audra, also known as Twisted Chalker. So if you ever want to find any of my videos or anything on how to do what I'm doing tonight, just Google Twisted Chalker and my YouTube videos will come up. And I believe Facebook ones will come, but they're one and the same. I now do lives on Facebook and then just upload them to YouTube, so they're easy to access anywhere. So tonight we are going to use Chalk Couture ink and the transfers on shirts. So since I'm doing a black shirt, I think I want sparkle. So I'm going to use the shimmer silver. But I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'm not going to just jump in because I haven't had anybody join me yet, so I'm going to wait. Just a few minutes. I'll just talk about what I've got going on here. So, I have this t-shirt. If you join me, please say hi and comment when you say hi, whether you're watching live or if you come on later and check this video out, please say hi and put that you're watching the replay in the comments, okay? And that'll get you some points for the point collection as well. But that'll just kind of let me know who's there. Are you there, Carrie? I think you're there. I can't tell. I'm not sure how to tell. Oh, okay. Hi. Anyway, I am an independent creator I'm an independent designer with Chalk Couture, in case you don't know that. And I'm working on a t-shirt tonight. I'm only going to do one shirt. I found this shirt at Hobby Lobby, and I love it because of the stripes. It's kind of a little sporty looking shirt, and V-neck, because I'm a V-neck person. Unless it hangs low, I don't like t-shirts up here. But I don't have white ink yet, so as soon as my white ink comes in, I have some fun with that shirt. But in the meantime, I did grab a black shirt as well. That happens to be a V-neck. Yay! And I am going to ink it with this A transfer, the size A transfer. Chalk ink is my cardio. That'll go on the front. And now I also want to do, we received these this 8.5 by 11 transfers that have tools, business tools, resources to help us with our business. Hello, Carrie. So good to see you again. Twice in one day. I feel so extra lucky. I am lucky. I'm talking to the screen. I need to talk up here so you can see me. Am I on your TV again? So anyway, this will be on the front. I think I'll put this on the sleeve. And it's just the logo. And I don't know if I put something on the back or not. I thought about putting hashtag Twisted Chalker on the back, but I won't do that tonight if I do, because it's each individual letter, and it takes a long time for me, because I have to line it up just right and measure and make sure it's starting in the right place. And I might do that on the live, but not tonight, because this will be our second live for tonight already. Okay, so I'm not going to use the almond or the shimmer copper tonight, so I'm going to put these back over here. Oh, what a mess. There we go, that's better. So this is how we do this. I don't have a plain cardboard, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to slide. No, I'm not going to use this. I'm not even thinking right. We have what's called an inking mat. Yeah, here we go. This is an inking mat, and this is used for inking on fabric. It's sticky. This is going to be loud. You know what? And I need to lower you down to the table so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to lower you down here. Okay, if you get dizzy easy, just close your eyes. Good. All right. Yeah, you see the rest of my shirt now. Yeah, that's right. Wine helps. Anyway, so this is an inking mat that can be used under your towel or in between the layers of your fabric for when you want to ink something. That way, it won't be jiggling around, and it won't go through to the ink won't go through to the other side. So I'm just gonna, it's just got some fuzzies. There we go, that's better. So now I'm just gonna slide this in. So as you can see, I'm sure that it's between the layers now. And as soon as I get the transfer placed, I will turn it around so you can see it the right side up. I just want to make sure I get it on there straight. All right, so now this is stuck. This is stuck to the inking mat, and it's going to hold it in place while I do my designing here. And so I want to put my talking is my cardio right here. Right about there. I don't want it to be too low, so I'm going to bring it up. Since the V-neck comes down, I'm going to bring this up pretty close to the V-neck so that it's not, you know, too far down from my neck. When you have your transfer, before you use it, the best thing to do would be to write on the back something. You can write just back, or this says cardio, chalking is my cardio. Because when you peel this off and then place it back on, you're going to need to make sure you put it on the right side. If you put it on the wrong side, trust me, I've done this, it will ruin your stencil because it sticks so well that it'll stretch it out when you're trying to pull it off. So for now, I've got it written on there. Now, if you don't remember to write it on, you may be okay if you pay attention well enough, not like I did. Because the side you want to put it on is extremely, extremely shiny. I don't know if you can tell. This side's a little more matte. This side's a little very, very shiny. So that's the side you want to put it on. So now, you got to come back, Carrie, so we can do this a bunch. Of course, your honey wouldn't want you to because she'd never be home. I'd be like taking you all the time. So let's see. I kind of have the word 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 letters. So in between the L and the K, that might be centered. Not very straight. And then what I'll do is just take the ruler, and I start at the seam of the armpit, you know, where the arm is. The sleeve, not the arm. This is my arm, that's the sleeve. And I measure to the screened area, not to this, because this area will be different on every transfer. So I'm just going to measure to the very first part of the screened area, which is 7 1/4, and then come over here and measure, and it's more like 7 1/2. So I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Just a touch. 1/4 of an inch is not that much, so, or, you know, I only needed to move it 1/8 of an inch to get it lined up. And it's lined up much better. All right. So now I'm going to turn it over so you can see what I'm doing better. Hold on. Okay, now it'll lay flat. It was the inking mat underneath that was preventing it from going flat. Okay, so silver ink. I need a squeegee. So I have a stir stick and a mini squeegee right there. It's been used, you can tell. I wash them, but I don't always get it all off. They still work. Now all I need to do, I'll push that down into the jug a little bit. There we go. Is scoop out some of the ink and place it on the transfer, just like that. The idea is to get all of the screened area. I didn't really show you up close, so I'm going to show you with this because it'll be easy to tell. But first I'm going to finish this. I don't want to just let it sit. So I've covered all the screening, and you don't really have to, like, you don't want to just keep doing it over and over and going over it over and over. You just want to make sure you get some good coverage. If you go into too many directions, you might cause it to bleed, and the design will smear underneath the screening. And then you can't fix it. Ink is not as forgiving as chalk paste, especially on fabric. Now, if you're doing it on glass, you can wash it off and redo it. That's not a big deal. Once you heat set it, you can't wash it off. Speaking of which, I need to turn on my heat press. So now what I'm doing is I'm scraping off all the excess, putting it back in the container. There is little to no waste when you use this stuff. And then all you gotta do, I see some areas that I want to touch up. I'm peeling it off slowly. That way if I see something that I don't agree with, that just needs a little bit more inking on it, I can lay it back down and just ink it. Because I want a good, strong presence. I don't want it to be distressed. So far, so good. I see a little bit more here in the H and the L. Sometimes it gets a little plugged up inside the screening, and you just have to make sure you get everything covered. And there it is. Chalking is my cardio. Hang tight. Okay, I gotta go wash this real quick. Turn down the volume on my phone. So isn't that awesome? And it's so sparkly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat set that before I do the other side. So I need to blow dry it a little bit, and then I'll heat set with my Big Bertha I got sitting over here. Let's see. I didn't warn you. Sorry about the loud volume there. Might want to turn yours down if it bothers you. Now I'm seeing just a couple tiny little spots that I want to fix. So I have this teeny tiny paintbrush that I'm going to use. I'm just gonna dab it in there. I didn't catch that. And then I'm going to touch up the A right there. There's a little black spot that I don't want to be there. I want the A to be filled in all the way. Sometimes I don't fix it because I like the distressed look. So it's really up to you. It's your personal preference. If you like, you know, if you don't get it, if it doesn't come perfectly through and you like the way it looks distressed, I'd say leave it. But if you want it to be bold and bright, and then you can redo it like I showed you earlier, or touch it up like I just did. Okay, loud blow dryer again. One more tiny spot right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and, yep, it's dry. I'm going to go ahead and set this really quick, and then I can do the sleeve without messing up what I just did here. So, normally, most people probably don't have this heat press unless you're a crafter who just does a lot of heat pressing and have one on hand. That's perfect. That's great. But in order to heat set this, what you would need is some parchment paper, which I have here, and I'm going to place one between the two layers of the shirt, just like I had the inking pad in there earlier. Now I'm putting this because I don't want this to transfer down to the back side. And then I'm going to put another piece on top. Do not use wax paper because wax paper will just pull it all up. It won't work. But parchment paper will. I don't understand the difference. Maybe I should, excuse me, maybe I should Google it and find out. But for some reason, wax paper doesn't work. Parchment paper does. So, at this point, if you had an iron with an ironing board, all you would do is take your iron, set at cotton heat, and just iron it on there for 4 minutes. 4 minutes over the whole thing. I would personally do this half first and just kind of move it around a little bit for 4 minutes and then do this half. Or you could just kind of, if your iron's big enough, you could go at an angle and cover all that and do it for 4 minutes. And then you will turn the shirt inside out and do the same process. Put the parchment paper between the two, excuse me, and then the parchment paper on top of the design, and then iron it again for another 4 minutes. But I have a heat press set for 305 degrees, and it's going to sit for 30 seconds, not 30 minutes. That would be a long time. But it's going to sit for 30 seconds on this side, and then when that's done, I'm going to turn it over and set it again on the inside of the shirt. Oh goodness, I almost put, oh goodness, I almost got the ink all over the sleeve of the shirt. I always forget to be careful of that. Okay, 30 seconds. And then we'll turn it over, or inside out, not over. And I think I might do the sleeve later because there's something else I'd like to show you tonight before we finish off the live. So I'm going to put parchment paper underneath again. Definitely this time because the ink is on the inside now, and I'm sure it's dry, but I'd rather not take the chance and have it transfer to the back. And then do it for another 30 seconds. Even the paintbrush, goodness gracious. I am just definitely a messy crafter. So what I'll do is later, I'll figure out exactly what I want to do. I kind of want to do a logo, I believe, but I'm thinking I might want to do the big one on the back or the small one on the sleeve. I can't decide. So I'm not going to jump into anything. But these are perfect for, you know, making t-shirts for gifts. I made a whole bunch of shirts for Mother's Day to put into my fair with some other stuff that I have. You can make it for yourself, make it for birthday gifts. Completely dry. And there it is. That's ready to wear. And this is machine washable. Hi there. I'm so glad you made it. We are almost done with this, though, this particular deal here, but you can watch the replay and see exactly how it was done. And I'm also planning to do, well, would you like me to do the sleeve? I can do the sleeve. I don't mind doing the sleeve. I'm loving this silver though. It's so sparkly. Can you tell how sparkly it is? I don't know if you can tell. But I can do the sleeve tonight. Go ahead and put the logo on the sleeve. Or I can just put it on there and post a picture of it. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Is it Sherry? Sherry? Cherie? I want to get it right. Sure, is that sure on the sleeve? Let's do the sleeve. Okay. I don't mind. Let's see. I think I want it to be on my left sleeve. So, I'm going to put the logo. I'm going to put the small logo on the sleeve. So, I'll just put the backing. I'm going to put the backing between so that I don't go through on the, because I don't have a small inking mat, so I'm just going to put the backing. So I'm going to, this is the top, this is the shoulder, the part that goes over the shoulder. So I'm flattening the sleeve out so that this is on the top. This is the part that'll be on the top of my arm. And so I'm going to want the logo to go right here so that it just rests on my arm. So, all right. It's not written on the back, so I need to write on the back. Small CC logo. All right. And the reason I did that was because I don't want to risk putting this back on the wrong side when I'm finished with it. So, as you can see here, this is the transfer. This green part here, nothing will go through. The screen part there is where all the ink will go through, so that when I'm done, it'll all be silver and it'll be black Chalk Couture. It's just like silk screening, really. And I place it right about, centered right about there. I see lots of sparkle on everything. Okay. And I'm thinking a towel might help. It's moving around too much in there. Don't want to smudge the, let's see if I can put this inside. Let's do that. Of course it's going to have ridges. I'm not prepared. Okay, there we go. All right, so it's on there. It's a little crooked. I moved it around. There we go. No. There, just like that. Now, the same way I did the front, I'm going to get a different squeegee. I got that one dirty. All right. So, gosh, I need to do a better job of cleaning my squeegees when I put them away. I've got white chalk paste all over this one. Okay, so now all I have to do is scoop some of the ink. I got a lot. I don't think I needed that much, quite honestly. Scoop some of the ink out and just smear it on. And be sure to just cover the whole screening area. You don't have to cover the whole thing, just the screened area. And you don't want to keep doing it and going different directions and everything else. You just want to give it a good smearing and then put the extra back in your container and then hold the squeegee straight up and down and just scrape off the excess. Now I'm seeing a pattern from the towel, so I might have a little pattern on mine. Let's see. And then I just pull it off. Yes, I have a pattern on mine because of the towel. Let's do it that way. I haven't done a sleeve. Okay, there we go. I'm taking off the excess. And there we go. There's the logo. There are some spots I want to touch up. So I'm going to put this in some water really quick. And then I'm going to dry it for a second. So you might want to decrease your volume because the dryer gets pretty loud. Then I'm just going to take my little paintbrush because there are some areas that I had to be careful. I have ink all over my hands. The areas that got messed up because of the towel having all the little bumps and ridges on it, I'm just touching it up with this tiny little paintbrush, filling it in because on this particular shirt, I don't want the distressed look. I may do a shirt with it and just leave it because I like the distressed look, but this particular one, I want it to be nice and bold and rich. And so I'm going to have to get another ink mat and I'm going to cut it so that I have smaller pieces to put under my sleeves when I'm doing them. Because that towel didn't do me any good. But as you can see, we can still see the Chalk Couture there. All set. So now, I'm going to blow dry it a little bit more. It's about to get loud if you want to turn down your volume. A little more touch up right over here. There we go. lot of ink here, so it's going to take a bit for, oh, it's almost completely dry. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set this one too so nothing happens to it. So I'm going to take this out and I put my inking mat somewhere. There it is. Put this under here so that I don't get warped my pad inking mat, my pad mat here. And then you need parchment paper. Okay, not wax paper, but parchment paper. And I will put the parchment paper between the sleeve layers so that the ink doesn't go through to the other side. So it's just kind of a protection thing. And then you place parchment paper over the design. Get the ink out of the way so I don't get it on my shirt where I don't want it. And I'm using a heat press tonight, okay? But this can be done with an iron. If you set your iron at cotton mode, I'm not sure, Cherry? You'll have to give me a pronunciation of your name. I hate to get it wrong. I'm not sure if you saw this part, but to heat set it, you would iron over this for 4 minutes with an iron. And then turn it inside out and iron over it again for 4 minutes with an iron. But I'm going to use my heat press. And it's just 30 seconds. If you happen to have one of these, it's just 30 seconds at 305 degrees on each side. Cherie is right? Okay. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and heat set it so I don't mess it up. And then I want to go ahead and show, I had a question about whether or not the chalk paste can really be washed off of the surfaces. So I thought I'd go ahead and show that really quick tonight, because tomorrow I have a couple projects I wanted to, oh, my hands, I gotta be careful. I have a couple projects that I wanted to chalk on, and so I don't want to take up too much time. Everybody's time is valuable, and I want to be respectful of that. So tonight I'm going to wash off of one of my frames. I had chalked on it with something else over Christmas, and I want to use it now to chalk other things on. So we got 20 more seconds. Sherry? Does it rhyme with Carrie? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Awesome. I can remember that. And so here it is. There's the sleeve with the logo. And so the front of it says, chalking is my cardio. Have a logo on the back, on the sleeve. And I may do something on the back. And this will be good for wearing when I'm doing my my craft fair next month in April, and one in June so far, and possibly even October. This is exciting. Okay, so real quick, like this is one of the frames that I acquired. This is actually the frame that I acquired in October of 2019 when I signed up as a Chalk Couture member. I did the add-on kit. There's an add-on where you can get a frame and a board like the one back here behind me, this one, and a few other things. So I opted for that, and this came in, and I held on to it and held on to it because it was so pretty, and I didn't want to use it, and then over a Christmas holiday I ended up using it. So now I'm going to clean it off. so that I can use it again for a different reason. I could use it just for everyday stuff. I could use it for holidays and then change it out. It's one of the things I love about these surfaces. Some of them you can't. The wood surfaces, you can't do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take plain water and just spray it on there. I should grab paper towels too. I have no get the paper towels while I'm doing this. Okay, I'm going to let that sit while I go get the paper towels. I'm in my dining room. This is where I work. This is the dining room table, and I don't know if you can tell, but like right here, it's groceries and refrigerator. And I try to keep the camera away from that area so you don't have to look at my groceries. But this is the space that I have to work in, and so this is, you know, making do with what I got, and that's okay because I still love it. It's nice. The kitchen's right there, and I have access to everything I need to do this. So now, all we gotta do. Now, Chalk Couture has a scraper that will help too to make it a little easier to get the chalk paste off. But I don't have it yet. My first order is on its way. So I'm just using paper towel. I want to be careful of my frame. Now, before I used this, I didn't season it. I wasn't very aware of what I needed to do, and I didn't season it. But I don't have chalk. It just basically means you take chalk that a teacher would use on the chalkboard and just slide it across the chalkboard and then season it. And then wipe it off. And there's a little ghosting. I don't know if you can tell. There's a little ghosting on there, like right in here. That is where the teal color was. The darker colors are going to sometimes be a little stubborn. So I'm just taking the board eraser. Washing it off. This has been on here since, I wanted to say November. I think I did it in November, probably December, late November, early December. And then I put it up and did nothing else with it because it was so pretty. I didn't want to change it, but now I'm ready to change it. Of course, I believe, you know, Christmas, they say Christmas is, Jesus is the reason for the Christmas season, but I believe he's the reason for every season. And there it is. So now it's ready to be used again. And so I may chalk on, I don't think I'm going to chalk on this during the party, but when I do, you know, I'll post the picture, I'll do it live, and it'll be on my business page. So my VIP page, if you want to join my VIP page, just send me a message or put it in the comments there. Just say VIP, and I'll invite you to my VIP page. But yeah, I'll probably do one of these live on there. But it's ready to go. So yes, a lot of the surfaces are washable and reusable. There are some that you can do double-sided, just like this one. Can be done double-sided. I'm going to leave this like this for a while, but tomorrow I will turn it over and do something on this side, just to show you we can do double-sided. And even you can even embellish for both sides, do a different embellishment if you want. So that's it. That's it for tonight. Be sure to check out, you know, all the posts and make your comments so you can get your points. And thank you, Sherry. And let's see. If you want to host a party, just let me know. You can get on. Excuse me. My goodness. Let me take a drink. Get online and make a wish list, and then there will be a post soon about what comes from being a hostess. So you'll see that when that comes on. All right. I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap this up? I know it's you, Carrie and Sherry. No questions? Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. It kind of makes me feel really good to have actually people that are watching. I'm still new at this, so, you know, new at this particular company, and this is my first Facebook party. And I've been having such a blast planning it and posting everything and doing the lives with you, and I appreciate you so much. And I plan to come live again tomorrow, show designs. Oh, okay, absolutely. Absolutely, I can do that. Absolutely. Okay, all right, so I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow's live will be at 7 o'clock, since I have to work, unfortunately. My full-time job gets in the way of this, so I have to work around it. But there will be a few posts here and there through the day, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow at about 7 p.m. All right, ladies, thank you. Good night. Oh, I gotta walk around the table.